Yeah, I'm preaching the word being healthy, and he met me at Chicken Delight, so eating the right foods. You know, the actual, I mean, Hamid, Rafiq Bhai as well, you know, we come from either football or cricket, so naturally that's what I would have expected my you know, children to go into that sport. So boxing was never you know, something that I had in the mind, even though I watched Prince Nassim, you know, Mike Tyson. The reason why he fell into boxing was obviously, you know, he wasn't diagnosed having ADHD, but the doctor said he could have ADHD. He had, you know, he had the option to put him on the medicine. Ritalin was the medicine at the time as well, but he also gave me the option that, you know, you could find a way to channel his energy in some sort of sport. So he did. So I've had the, you know, the task to put him in some sports to channel his energy. You know, he was very hyperactive, you know, attention deficit hyperactive disorder, very extreme hyperactive behaviour. So, you know, I had to find the sports to channel that energy. So we tried cricket. So he would bat and ball, but he wouldn't field. Now, a hyperactive child needs to be active all the time, being involved. So in cricket, you know, you've got a lot of downtime, especially when it comes to fielding. So we knocked that on the head and said, that's not going to work. And we tried a couple of other sports, and we fell into kickboxing. You know, we took him to a kickboxing club, you know, just to channel the energy. Like, as you know, the question he asked about at what point do you think that, you know, boxing was for him. So we fell in by chance. So obviously he started kickboxing, realised he was good with his hands. So you know, he wasn't kicking much in kickboxing. He was just using his hands. So natural transition into boxing came because, you know, he had about 100 kickboxing bouts, you know, from the age of, from say 5 years old to about 7, and but he was winning most of them with his hands. It wasn't not with his feet. So we thought, okay, let's train him into boxing, and that's how we fell into boxing. You know, it was never an ambition to become a boxer. You know, as I said, my life has been around football or cricket. So you know, and that's how we got into boxing. And now, you know, at the age of 5, when you met me in the Chicken Delight, you know, probably with a chicken burger in my hand, and you know, that was, you know, that I knew that he's going to be a boxer. You know, and people thought I was crazy then, and now, you know, he's got there. You know, and not that just one son. Now I've got 2 sons now, both signed to Sky Sports as well. So you know.
And there was a whole lead up as well, right, to it as well, because there were videos of him on YouTube.
Yeah, there's a lot of videos at him at the age of 5. Yeah, yeah,
which we followed.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of criticism to put those videos up, saying your kid is gonna get a burnout. You know, when the people seeing those videos, had a lot of comments on the YouTube video that your child is gonna get burnt out. Again, you know, going back to the word smart, I was very smart in how I, you know, trained him, and it's important about rehabilitation as well in sports. You know, I'm sure your children come home after having a long day of playing football. One of the most important things is rehab, making sure they have a rehabilitation, because there is things of, you know, you can get burnt out in any sport. So yeah.
Thank you, Azim. Thank you. Okay, I think everyone is mid-meal now, so it's a bit difficult. But I will ask for one more question from any of the parents, not the children. You can have your opportunity to speak to him over dinner. Anyone else? No? Okay, well, one of the coaches put their hands up. So Arby, come out here, please. You're obviously very suited and booted. Probably the smartest man in the room at the moment. Probably takes after his teacher attributes. So I'll pass it on to him. He is he's not shy at all on the mic, so I'll leave him to do most of the talking on this one.
Thank you. Just a message for Azim, if I can. Could you just talk us through a typical week of the sacrifice that you make to make sure that your son gets the right training, right support, and how much effort you put in as a father?
So I think going back to amateurs, you know, we had trainers, we had the club, Pinewood Star. So I think if you maybe look at what he does now, so he trains 3 times a day. You know, you know, we have a timetable that is sent on a daily basis in terms of going to the gym. He's got obviously one of the top trainers in the world that he works with, but we do a lot of things outside that as well. So, you know, I mean, when he gets up in the morning, the first thing he does is actually doing breathing exercises in the morning, you know, which is something, again, he's got a breathing coach that does that before he actually goes to the gym. You know, what he does that, and then, you know, we go to the gym, he has a session with the trainer. You know, again, he's got a nutritionist as well that gives him the meal plan that he has on a daily basis. So this is something that I have to manage all, because, you know, he's still quite young, and, you know, he's very, very disciplined. I mean, if I ever left him alone, and he can do everything himself, so, but it's just for me being there as well, just, you know, being alone in camp as well, you know, that you know, that's very important as well, that having someone like myself around. So the second session's at the gym, and then he has a third session with a strength and conditioner that works with his you know, strength and conditioning, and then he has a fourth session as well, which you know, so he trains between 3 to 4 times a day, and that's at elite level. Now at grassroots level, which, you know, his grassroots was the amateurs, so, you know, I'm sure you guys know Khalil from K's gym. You know, I think one of the he said he could, you know, he couldn't make it today, but he's played a very important role when it comes to, you know, the grassroots. But, you know, Adam does his own running, so, you know, that's one of the hardest things to do, is when you're running on your own, doing 8 to 10k. You know, with 8 to 10k, it takes around 30 to 40 minutes. How boring is that? But he does it. That's a part of the discipline that, you know, he has. So, you know, and our timetable, everything, you know, his training regime is Monday to Saturday. He has 1 day off on a Sunday. So in those training, like I said, he's S&C. He even has a yoga teacher that helps him to stretch. You know, he has a massage guy that as well. You know, he has the whole team on. You know. I'm not saying that you should bring that into your football now, but that's at elite level. But you can begin and start that, you know, the process. I mean, get the oil out and massage your son. You know, you can do that. His mother used to do that to him when he was young. You know, mother's hand on, you know, it's the most important on, you know. Seriously, when you've got a 2-hour massage. But yeah, you know, the parents have to play a part in making sure they eat the right stuff, they sleep on time, massage them, you know. Don't forget about your studies as well, you know, don't, you know, forget about that, because it's something that you need in this as well, because, you know, standing up in front of 22,000 people, talking to them, you've got to make sure you have good English and have a good way of saying things, so.
Thank you, Azim.